Hello, and welcome to today's discussion entitled Could It Be Hormones? How to Navigate Midlife and Beyond. My name is Kim Jakes, and if you're watching this video, I'm going to make some assumptions. I'm going to assume that you are a woman and that you are approaching in or beyond midlife. You might be having some symptoms and are looking for some guidance on how to best support your body during this very special season of life. Or you may actually just be looking at how to best support your body preventatively. We all show up to midlife potentially a little caught off guard. We don't come with an owner's manual that's individualized to our very individualized midlife experience. And as far as mentors go, we may have either had not a very thorough mentorship by our female family members around what to do with midlife, or perhaps even the mentorship that we received is not what we want to duplicate in our own lives. Maybe we want to create a different experience than what our elders experienced. And when we walk into our medical advisors, sometimes they're just not super equipped at giving us a lot of guidance. And to be fair, it's not always their fault. You see, midlife is a very individualized hormonal transformation that is unique to you. And so I am here to be able to create a conversation so that you can be more educated around the different hormones that are at play during midlife and how you can naturally support yourself through lifestyle practices in order to allow for you to navigate midlife as gracefully as possible. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Kim Jakes. I live in Wilmington, North Carolina with my husband. I love to travel. I love food. Food is one of my biggest recreations. I've also been a wellness professional since 1999. I hopped into this profession at a very early age because I had a very early age health trauma. I actually had a pretty significant event that happened to me in my teen years. And despite the fact that the doctors had prognosis of me having limitations and being on medication the rest of my life, I stubbornly really pursued natural alternatives with great results. So, knowing that the body has such resiliency and it has the capabilities of really rejuvenating itself in many ways and allowing for the body's systems to be able to do their own job with our support through lifestyle choices has been my passion for a very long time. I started out my career as a massage therapist, a polarity therapist. I was an educator, a school administrator, the founder of a wellness center. I'm also a certified primal health coach, as well as an intuitive eating coach as well. Now, many times when we hear the word midlife, the next word that comes to mind is crisis. In fact, if you Google search, you will note that the number one Google search term with midlife is crisis. And many times we think about crisis in a negative connotation, like it is a downward spiral, or it is just the funny memes around the symptoms of hot flashes, or it may be that we think about the memes around doing extreme and making extreme lifestyle decisions, getting yourself a Corvette or whatever it might mean. But I really like to open up the discussion around the true definition of crisis because there's so much value to be had in really looking at this word. The word crisis means a time when a difficult or important decision must be made. And that is midlife. This is a turning point. This is a fork in the road. Everything that we do in this moment really sets the trajectory for our next season of life. And quite honestly, this next season of life can be another half to another two-thirds, depending on when we actually start our hormone changes and how long we are going to live. So there's so much life to be had, and we're defining the quality of that life right now. So here's a sentence associated with crisis. When the crisis came, she does not appear to have hesitated. Right. And so the only way we can step into a crisis with knowing what to do and not hesitating around it is to be really educated, informed, and confident around what we're doing. And that's why I host these talks to be able to provide the education, the understanding, the inspiration, and develop the dialogue and questioning of what midlife really is and how the midlife body functions. Now, this webinar is for you if you're 40 plus and curious if what you're experiencing is normal. Are you waking up in the bed in the morning and saying, "Oh my gosh, could this be hormones? Is this the beginning of perimenopause? How much longer will I be in this process?" These are all things that are unknown. Really, your body is completely unique. And so, if you're curious, then this webinar is for you. If you have an inner knowing that says you could be healthier, but you're not really confident with what exactly to do, you may have seen the menopause memes, kind of chuckled at them, but you really want to find natural solutions to be able to minimize or avoid many of the side effects. You want to invest in yourself and set up a strong second half plus of your life. Maybe you don't want to feel alone in your wellness journey. We tend to not talk a lot about, in all seriousness, midlife and perimenopause and menopause beyond kind of the jokes and the chuckles. So, this is a space for us to do that together. Now, I do want to share with you where I was when I hit midlife. Now, health has been my passion, right? But I was still caught off guard when I crossed the threshold into some of my hormonal changes. I was eating healthy, right? I was eating organic food, home cooked food. I was exercising, but suddenly I was caught off guard that I was gaining weight and losing energy. And I remember one day I was driving home from the gym, and despite the fact that I was eating in healthy, quote unquote, ways, and exercising, I was just starting to feel like maybe the prophecies of midlife were true. Maybe my body was kind of broken. Maybe this was the beginning of the decline, and I wasn't okay with that. So I started jumping into research around midlife health and realized that yes, I was eating healthy. However, my midlife body had some different requirements. And if I wanted to really leverage the power of my body, I needed to think about food and movement differently. And so instead of thinking about calories and portion sizes, I started thinking about eating for gene management, eating for hormone health, and eating for a deeper level of cellular nourishment. And in 2011, between 2011 and 2020, I'm glad to say that I've turned back the clock on aging in very meaningful ways and have really been minimizing the symptoms of perimenopause quite significantly because of that. Now, here's a client testimonial. What I loved about working with Kim is her expert knowledge on a diverse range of topics that all support the overlying goals of resetting my metabolism. Now, I bring this up because A, I adore this particular client. Of course, I am always honored by positive testimonials, but I'm also bringing this up because the term metabolism is a term I want to highlight. And that is because many times we think about metabolism and we isolate that term to weight loss. Okay. My metabolism is slow. And so I'm gaining weight. But I really want to let you know that as we're talking about these hormones, specifically the metabolism hormones, what we're talking about when we talk about metabolism is metabolism actually the chemical processes in your body that allow for life to exist. So metabolism is way beyond just weight gain or weight loss. Now imagine feeling empowered, being in your midlife body, knowing that it is okay to be feeling the feelings that you're having and knowing how to be able to mitigate some of the symptoms that just might be limiting your experience and enjoyment of life in the moment. Imagine confidently caring for yourself in midlife and beyond. Imagine knowing that your body is truly capable. It comes equipped with going through this stage of life. And that if we are able to really align and partner with her with our lifestyle choices, that we can do it in a way that really sets us up for long-term longevity and enjoyment of life. Imagine feeling like you're showing up as your best self. Now, best self at midlife is very different than best self in the 20s, for better or for worse, right? The reality is that midlife is special. It's unique. It is not to be diminished by the fact that we are letting go of some of the more youthful definitions, but we're stepping into some really powerful stages of life. And my friend, your body is designed to thrive. We are genetically programmed to be able to exist within the stresses of our world and be able to rise up above them. However, living in a modern world really puts us in heightened levels of stresses, different exposures to toxicity, different exposures to heightened levels of processed foods, things that our body was not designed to exist with. So it's not that our body is not designed to thrive, it's that the modern world is not necessarily aligned with our abilities. Okay. So, as we talk about food today, we're going to talk about some of the foods that will allow for us to activate those capabilities within our body. So, when you ask yourself, could it be hormonal imbalance? There are different hormones that we have in our body. In perimenopause, we many times think about our sex hormones of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. And there's more than just that. In fact, many of our hormones actually interplay with one another in pretty amazing ways. They influence one another. When one hormone turns on, the other one may turn off. And it may be that it's not necessarily even the sex hormones that are causing some of our symptoms. So I do want to let you know that yes, we have our sex hormones. They can cause symptoms and very normally do with mood, PMS, maybe even shifts in your libido. They can even cause sugar cravings when they're shifting in their different, shifting through midlife and beyond. But also stress hormones. Stress hormones actually affect our sex hormones. So if we are under a good amount of stress, they can actually affect how we're experiencing the transitions of perimenopause and menopause. And if our stress hormones are imbalanced, we can experience things like fatigue or anxiety or sleep disturbances. Don't those seem like perimenopausal symptoms? But typically, when we go to our medical providers, they're talking about the sex hormones, but we can influence our sex hormones with lifestyle choices like reducing stress. Metabolism hormones are also part of our hormone profile. And when those are off, we might feel weight gain, fatigue, muscle cramps, sweating. And sex hormones are also metabolism hormones, although they are beyond that as well. We also have a hormone that you might be familiar with, which is called the thyroid hormone. We also have other hormones like insulin and ghrelin and leptin that might be a little less familiar to you. But all of these hormones, I want you to know, they want you to be at your best self, but our lifestyle interacts with them. Okay. So, what aspects of our lifestyle can we really kind of design around helping our hormones be able to do their best in transitioning us from pre-perimenopause to menopause and beyond? Well, natural solutions that balance our hormones are things like sleep, relaxation, a healthy diet, which is what we're going to talk about today, hugs, exercise. All of these things can actually influence all of our hormones. So if we understand what activities will influence them positively and we design our life around it, remember, crisis is actually a time to make hard decisions, hard and important decisions. Well, the hard and important decisions I would like to let you know may be simple ones around prioritizing sleep, relaxation, healthy diet, hugs, exercise, things like that, that allow you to really be at your best. Now, here's another client testimonial. I feel as if you gave me a magic key to a secret door that I never knew existed. And the reason why I bring this up is because the magic key and the secret door really exists inside your body. It is designed to thrive, my friends. And so being able to unlock that potential is just such a joy. So I do want to let you know that I have put together a guide called Eat Your Way to Hormone Health. Understand how to care for your midlife body. This is a free guide that I've put together for you. There is it's actually a 5-day mini course that will be emailed out to you, one email a day. And besides the guide, there's actually a bonus webinar that goes into the food choices in more of an in-depth way, and also a really great smoothie recipe that has a lot of key components, very tasty, but a lot of key components that help you be able to balance your hormones, specifically during midlife and beyond. So, all you need to do to be able to receive it is go to kimjakes.com/hormone health. And inside this free 5-day mini program, you are going to learn how to recognize symptoms of a hormonal imbalance, foods to eat that will support hormone health, and foods to avoid that disrupt hormone health. Plus, again, you will receive a free 1 hour webinar and hormone balancing smoothie recipes. So I hope you enjoyed today's brief talk. If you like this talk and you'd like to engage in this topic more, then you can also join my free Facebook group, which is called Midlife Health and Lifestyle Design. And I would love to be able to connect with you either on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube. I'll talk to you soon.